Hello everybody, welcome to Mogujastro and as well as welcome to class 10 CBSE. Okay, due to some one thing I am going to tell you that due to some technical reason I am not going to upload this playlist in my new channel that is called class 10 CBSE. I am creating a new playlist on my previous channel that is the Mogujastro where you can find all these videos, but uh, after a couple of days you get a new channel called class 10 CBSE where you can again get these videos. Okay, so let's start with the real number part 2. Okay, let's start with the let's give the heading real number part 2. Okay, in this video we are going to discuss about the most important thing, that is the irrational number. Okay, what is irrational number? First you have to know irrational number. Okay, so because in this video you are going to get 3 out of 3, because here I am going to prove some important proof that must come in your exam. There are 4 or 5 types of proof. Entire proof I will discuss in this video. It is maximum 30-minute video. Okay, you have to stick on this video to get 3 out of 3. Now what is irrational number? A number is said to be irrational if it cannot be written in the form of p by q. Every natural number can be written in the form of p by q. That's why they are called the rational number. And one important parameter of the rational number is p and q both have both are co-prime. It means both have only one common factor, that is 1 is 1 and only common factor for p and q. But in irrational number, we cannot represent the number in the form of p by q. It means there is no denominator. Such denominator is there by which we can, numerator and denominator is there by which we can represent a number. And obviously q is not equal to 0. It is important thing, and where p is not, if you are, and obviously p and q are integer. Okay. Okay. For example, root 2, root 3, root 5, root 7, root 11, pi, Avogadro number n, all these things are the irrational number. And one thing you have to remember, that they are non-terminating. Matlab, if pi is equal to 22 by 7, we can represent it by 22 by 7, but it is a never ending number. You can say that pi can represent in the form of 22 by 7, where it is p in the form of p by q. But if we divide 22 by 7, it cannot terminate, means we cannot completely divide 22 by 7. ये 3.14, उसके बाद बहुत सारा नंबर आता जाएगा, लेकिन कभी लास्ट में कभी रिमाइंडर कभी जीरो नहीं होगा. ओके, एवोगाड्रो नंबर इज आल्सो सेम. they it cannot be terminating after some decimal point. Okay, that's why they are the irrational number. Now the theorem regarding this, that the theorem of this irrational number is let p be a prime number if P divides A square, then P divides A. It means if 3 divides 9, then 3 obviously divides 3 also, because 3 square ki, if A is 3, it means A square is equal to 9. So if 3 is divide 9, A square is equal to 9. So if 3 divides 9, then 3 divides 3. If 4 divides 2, not 2, if 4 divides 16, then 4 obviously divides 4. If 5 divides 25, then obviously 5 divides 5. If 3 divides 81, it means that 3 divides 9, because if A is 9, then A square is equal to 81. So if 3 divides A square, then 3 divides A. This is the important theorem, and the most important line is that for rational number there is only one common factor for P and Q. And when we are going to prove that root 2, that is the, what is the important proof comes from this part, that is prove that root 2 or root 3 or 1 by root 2 1 by root 2 or 3 root 7 or 1 plus 1 by root 2 are the nothing but the are irrational. Okay, now now let's start with the root 2. Let's prove that root 2 is a irrational number. Prove that this is only one type, type 1. That's why it is very much important that this type must come in your exam. Prove that root 2 is irrational. Okay, now let's start with the proof. Okay, let assume let assume root 2 is a rational. So if, as we are assuming that root 2 is a rational, it means that root 2 can be represented in the form of a by b. Okay, where a and b are co-prime, means if they are rational then they are co-prime, and b never equal to 0. Okay, now we can squaring both sides, and we are getting 2 is equal to a square by b square. Now multiply 2b square is equal to a square. It means that b square is equal to a square by 2. That means 2 divides a square. So 2 divides a. 2b square is equal to a square. It means that 2a is in the table of b, or b is in the table of a. So if 2 divides a square, then a divides 2 divides a. Like that, this is equation number 1, that is the 2b square is equal to a square. Now let a is equal to 2c. Now 2b square is equal to a square. This is equation number 1. Put a is equal to 2c. So 2b square is equal to 2c whole square. That means 2b square is equal to 4c square. That is b square is equal to 2c square. As b square is equal to 2c square, it means that 2 it means that we can, it implies that c square is equal to b square by 2, means b square is divisible by 2, where a square is divisible by 2. So 2 divides b square. It means that according to theorem 2 divides b. It means that what does it mean? It means that a and b have common factor 2. So what is co-prime? If a and b are a by b are rational, then they are co-prime and they must have only one common factor, that is 1. But here we prove that a and b have two common factor, that is another common factor, that is the 2. A and b have a common factor 1, obviously. Every number is divisible by 1, and that is 1 is the factor for every number. But the a and b have the another common factor, we have proved that it is 2. So it is contradict our previous assumption that if a by b, that is the root 2, is represented by a by b, and if we are assuming, as we are assuming, that a by b is a rational number, that means it doesn't have any other common factor rather than 1. But here it is proven that a and b have the common factor other than 1, and that is 2. So this contradicts the fact that A and B have no common factor other than 1. This line is important. This line we have to write again and again for every proof. This contradicts that A that fact A and B have no common factor rather than 1, and these contradiction comes due to our wrong assumption that A by B is rational. It means that we assume that A by B is rational is a wrong. So A by B, that is equal to root 2, is irrational. It is one kind of proof is there proof. Okay. Now let's do the next proof, that is we can say that prove that prove that 1 by root 2 is rational. This is the another one. So for that, again same thing, let assume 1 by root 2 is sorry prove that 1 by root 2 is irrational. Okay, let's assume that a by 1 by root 2 is rational. Okay, that means we can write 1 by root 2 in the form of b by a or a by b, whatever it is. Now root 2b is equal to a, then dividing both sides, 2b square is equal to a square. It means that 2, it implies that b square is equal to a square by 2. it means that 2 divides a square. Again it implies that 2 divides a. Now again let's assume, now we have to prove that 2 divides b also. Okay, let's assume a is equal to 2c. Now this is your equation number 1. So in equation number 1, put a is equal to 2c. So 2b square is equal to a square. 2b square is equal to a square jagah 2c. We put a square 2c in the in a square. So 2c whole square. So 2b square is equal to 4c square. That means b square is equal to 2c square. That is c square is equal to b square by 2. It implies that 2 divides again b square, that is 2 divides b. That means again there is a contradiction comes due to a wrong assumption. If 1 by root 2 is rational, then it has only one common factor 1 and 1, but we prove that rather than 1 it has another common factor 2. It means that 1 by root 2 is a irrational number. Important proof. Proof number 3. Prove that, important proof, prove that 3 root 7 is irrational. Again, simple proof. Okay, it are choto. It is a very small proof. Okay, okay. Let assume 3 root 7 is rational. Okay, now now 3 root 7 is equal to a by b, because if it is rational then we can write it in the form of a by b. So it means that 3 root 7 b is equal to a. Now root 7 is equal to 3a by 3b. Okay, a by 3b. Now important note, important thing, it is very simple. Since a, b and 3 are integers, if a by b is a rational number, then this they must be integers. As a, b and 3 are integers, then a by 3b is rational. So root 7 is rational. But we know root 7 is irrational. If you want, you can prove that root 7 is irrational like the previous one, like previous root 2 or root 3. You can prove root 7 is irrational by taking root 7 is equal to a by b and then put a is equal to 7c. Then it is easy to prove. Okay, so but we know that root 7 is irrational. Here if a by 3b is rational, then root 7 is also rational, but we know that root 7 is irrational. What does it mean? It means that this contradiction arise because of our incorrect assumption that 3 root 7 is rational. If root 7 is irrational, then obviously a 3 root 7 is irrational. Okay, hence 3 root 7 is irrational. Very important proof for your upcoming CBSE 2025 class 10 exam. Okay, now you can prove this is the last proof, that prove that important prove that 1 plus 1 by root 2 is irrational. Okay, important proof. Okay, again same thing we have to follow. Let us assume 1 plus 1 by root 2 is rational. Then let a is equal to 1 plus 1 by root 2. A by b all are the rational number, because a can be represented in the form of a by 1, that is p by q, and obviously q is not equal to 0, and a and 1 both have the only one common factor, that is 1. So a is you can retain, or you can consider a as a rational number. So a is equal to a 1 plus 1 by root 2. তাহলে a minus 1 by root 2 equals to 1. That is, we can minus it, root 2, a root 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So a root 2 minus 1 is equal to root 2. Then squaring both side, again you can square both side. So a root 2 minus 1 whole square is equal to root 2 square. What does it mean? 2a, okay, elaborately I can do it. A root 2 whole square minus 2 into a root 2 into 1 plus 1 square is equal to 2. Now root 2 square is 2, a square is 1, so 2a square minus 2 root 2a plus 1 is equal to 2. This term we can take in the left hand side. So minus 2 root 2a is equal to 2 minus 1 minus 2a square. That means, it means if we write these things, solve it, minus 2 root 2a is equal to 1 minus 2a square. It means that root 2 is equal to 1 minus 2a square by minus 2 into a. Minus 2 or a is in the denominator, then it is root 2. Now, so this is our motivation, that we have to make this in the right side. We have to construct the right side like such a way that there is only the rational number a 1 2, that is the this type of natural numbers are present. Okay, so that means since a is rational, because we are considering a is rational, it means 1 minus 2a square by minus 2a is rational, but root 2 is irrational. We have already proved that root 2 is irrational. You can prove root 2 is irrational. You can prove it. Okay. So if a is rational, then 1 minus 2a square by minus 2 is rational, but root 2 is irrational. Left hand side is irrational and right hand side is rational. It cannot be possible. Means rational is not equal to irrational. It is always true. Rational is equal to rational, irrational is equal to irrational. It means that these contradicts. So this contradiction arise due to our wrong assumption that A is rational, that is A means 1 plus 1 by root 2 is rational. So these contradiction arise due to our wrong assumption that 1 minus plus 1 by root 2 is rational. So we can say that 1 plus 1 by root 2 is irrational. You got it, I think. Now this is something different from the previous one, so we can take another example. Okay, prove that 5 minus 2 by 7 root 3 is irrational. Okay, so it is not difficult, it is very easy. Again same format. Let us assume that 5 minus 2 by 7 root 3 is rational. Okay, and take A is equal to 5 minus 2 by 7 root 3. Okay, okay. Now A, make this in the is left side, plus 2 by 7 root 3 equals to 5. Now add it, 7a plus 2 root 3 by 7 is equal to 5. Now 7a plus 2 root 3 is equal to 35. Now make this part in the left hand side. So 2 root 3 is equal to 35 minus 7a. Now root 3 is equal to 35 minus 7a by 2. काम हो गया है. It means that a, we assume that a is rational. If a is rational, then so it implies that 35 minus 7a by 2 is rational, but root 3 is irrational. We know any number inside the root, that is the which is not exactly a perfect square number. Root 3, root 5, root 7, all these numbers are irrational numbers, but root 3 is irrational number. So it means that these contradiction arise due to our wrong assumption that 5 minus 2 by 7 root 3 is rational. So 5 minus 2 by 7 root 3 is irrational. Proof. Okay. These four or five types of math you study very deeply, very well, because you get 3 marks. I am assuring you, you get 3 marks from this part. In the next part, in the third part will be maximum 15 minutes video, because in the third part we are going to discuss about the rational number, and it is quite easy rather than the irrational number. Up to that, take care, bye bye, see you in the next video.